Hello scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back today with a SpiegelMom scraps layout. So for today's layout I am going to be inspired by the layout you would have seen before the video started. I found that layout on YouTube. I was just watching a bunch of YouTube videos this week and this one randomly popped up as a recommended video for me to watch. So I will leave a link below to this, the lady's channel. And she is awesome. I've watched a couple more of her videos and I have fallen in love with her layouts and just her videos and everything. So I'm super excited that I found this new scrappy person to follow. Okay, so you can see here that I am just layering and layering and layering. What I got from this layout that I'm scraplifting is she used a ton of layers behind her photo. And I want to apologize. I'm so super sorry about the focusing and the zooming in and out. Normally I turn my autofocus off, but I had done my December daily share the day before this, like recording this layout, and I had turned on the autofocus for that. So I apologize that I did not realize that I had left it on. I think I do notice it towards the end of the layout, but I do apologize. It is going to be like this for a little while, so I am super sorry. I hope that you don't get too bothered by it. Okay, but anyway, so what I decided to do with this layout, I really liked the idea of doing different strips on the layout, but I wanted to use my dazzlers. So instead of using strips of paper like she did in the Scraplift, I am going to use my, let's see, which dazzlers am I going to use? Let's see, foiled again dazzlers and Tell Me No Lies textures. And I'm not going to include the whole making of the background because it seriously took me like half an hour to do the whole background, if not longer. So first off, I'm going to use this Tell Me No Lies textures, and I'm just going to quickly paint it on the background, and I think it's going to cut out here in a few minutes or a few seconds. Okay, so now you can see here I'm doing the foiled again dazzlers, and I at first am going to use this really skinny little palette knife, and I'm just not liking the way that it's spreading because of the different texture that the dazzlers is. It's more of a smooth paste than a textured paste. It just wasn't going on as easily with this skinny knife as the textures went on. So in a minute, I am going to decide to use a thicker palette knife, and I am really glad that I changed it up because I love how the dazzlers turned out. I was actually thinking at this point maybe I should put a little bit of water in the dazzlers, but then I just pulled out this bigger, thicker palette knife, and that worked out so much better. And I really love the texture and just how cool it looks with the lines after it dries. So here I'm just finishing that up, and then I'm going to come back and show you me ripping off my washi tape. So here you can see I'm taking off the washi tape, and I decide to do this while it's still wet, and I rip it. So in the end, it's going to be fine. That's where I'm going to end up putting the photo, because I was going to put the photo on that side of the layout anyway, so I just put it up a little bit higher than I had originally thought I was going to. But it works out okay. I wanted to make sure to do it while the dazzlers and the shimmers and the textures were still wet, because I was afraid that I would rip off the paint even more if it had time to dry. So I was just cleaning up my little area, and then I came back later that day and I had, or it might have actually been later that night or the next day, I can't remember. So now I'm going to start layering and adding more patterns and things on behind the photos, and I am going to fiddle with this for quite a while. I just wanted to I wanted it to look really good. I really just was focusing on the layering and the different papers I was going to be using. I have a scrap drawer now in my new scrap room, and I decided to pull out some of these scraps from that scrap drawer. And one of the scraps was from, I think, Wildflowers is the collection, and it was from We Are Memory Keepers. I think it was like last year, at the beginning of the year. I don't really remember, but it's kind of an older collection, and it had this cute little yellow tag that I really, really liked on it. So I cut that off, and then here you can see I'm pulling out more scraps from my little scrap bin. I really wanted to use that green Paige Evans paper from her Fancy Free line, I believe that came from. But I'm thinking it blends in too much with this yellow striped paper. So I'm going to use some Close to My Heart Slate Gray ink and a sponge, and I'm going to just put a little bit of ink on the edges, hoping that it'll help the papers stand out a little bit more against each other. But it still doesn't stand out enough against that green. And so I'm going to scrap the idea of using that green pattern paper. I do like this chevron. It's a light blue, but that doesn't really work either. I'm going to try out this bigger piece of, I think that's also from the We Are Memory Keepers Wildflower collection. But I do really, really like this black corrugated piece of paper. So I am going to cut that down. I'm actually going to end up putting it on the other side, but for now I'm thinking I'm going to put it there. But I'm still just thinking it needs something more, like another layer underneath the whole background that I have there so far. So I do find this other piece of Amy Tangerine, and that's from the Stitched collection. I found a bigger piece of that corrugated paper that I'm gonna cut down, but I end up not using it. I just didn't like it as much as the smaller piece. So I'm going to mat the whole photo onto this, oh, I guess I did mat it on that. I guess it's not corrugated, it's just black paper. Sorry, I was thinking that was part of the corrugated paper. So here I matted it on the black behind the yellow, because I did like how the black paper made the yellow pattern paper stand out. Then I put the Amy Tangerine Stitched triangle. It's gray and white triangles, and sorry, it's like 10:30 at night and I can't think straight. So I glued that to the whole background, and then I'm adding just these two little pieces to the right side of the photo, and I'm gonna switch them. I didn't want the yellow stripes to be up at the top because of the other yellow stripes from the other pattern paper. I was being like really fidgety with this layering. So here you can see I'm just kind of trying to make the gray inking stand out a little bit more. So I just took the whole ink pad to the papers, and that seemed to work out really well. So now I'm thinking maybe I should add this chevron to the bottom there, but I'm still just thinking I don't really like it. I do, but at the same time I don't. And I think I'm just kind of getting a little bit overwhelmed by everything that's on my desk. So you can see I'm starting to clean things up, trying to make room for just my layout. So here I am going to decide that, yep, I am definitely going to put that yellow tag there to the left. I am also going to decide to pull off that chevron paper and not put it back, and then glue down that corrugated black paper. I also have bought some just foam paper from Walmart. It's like just a stack of foam, and I am going to put that on the back of the photo because of the corrugated paper being so thick. The photo needed something that was about the same height, and this foam stuff that you can just get in a pack at Walmart is about the same height as the corrugated paper. My adhesive did not want to stick to it though, so I'm going to have to figure out a better way to glue down my foam tape, or my foam behind my photos and things. I think before I've used it a little bit before, and I think I probably just used Zots. Okay, so now you can see I'm pulling out some more stuff from my stash, and this was from, I'm not sure what collection these pieces, these tags and things were from, but I did get it in a click kit from, I think, 2015, maybe the end of, or the beginning of 2016. But I don't remember what kit it was. But I did have this cute little flare badge that says, "I think you're foxy." And I have never known what I was going to do with this because I don't really scrapbook about myself, and I don't really think that about myself anyway. But I thought, oh, this would be a perfect layout to put it on because it's about my husband and I celebrating our anniversary. So here I'm just pulling out some tags and placing them on the layout. There's a wood veneer piece that has the number 2 on it. And then I also have a couple more tags. I think those were exclusive cut apart pieces from the click kit. And then now here I am pulling out my SpiegelMom scrap sequins, and I wasn't quite sure which sequins I wanted to use because there's so many fun colors going on in this layout. I did remember that I had some chunky stars, and so I'm going to pull those out and use those. I found a cute little felty that is Cloudy Days felty, and I had done some stenciling on it with some foiled again dazzlers at the beginning of the year, and I thought, oh, that would be perfect to use on this layout because it matches the dazzlers and the layout and everything. So I'm going to use that. Here I'm still kind of going through all of my SpiegelMom scraps sequins. I have so many sequins, and I use a lot of them on my layouts too, but I love all of Jodi's sequins, so I keep buying them from her. And she also is giving them to me because obviously I'm on her design team. So okay, so now I have decided to use the new collection, the new sequin pack called Too Cool for School. Those came out on January 1st. And then let's see, I also used gold confetti sequins. And I will leave the link below to the blog post so that you can go and find all the links to the products. So here I am deciding to glue down my photo cluster. You can see that I also had glued down some tags. I don't know if I actually glued down the tags yet. I think I did, onto the photo. So let me tell you the story behind the photo. It looks like I've disappeared for a little bit here. So my husband and I just celebrated our 14th wedding anniversary on January 3rd. And since Christmas just happened and we usually go all out for Christmas gifts, we don't really usually do anything too crazy or exchange gifts for our anniversary or anything. So we had received a gift card from my dad for Christmas, and also from Mark's bosses for Christmas. He had gotten a little bit of a bonus, and then also some movie vouchers or something like that. So we decided we were going to go see the movie Passengers, as well as go out to a really expensive restaurant. It's what is it called? Hibachi, and it's so it's like Benihana. We don't actually have a Benihana here where I live, but we do have this place called Fuji. So and for dinner it costs like $20 a plate, which is so outrageously expensive for where we live. You might not think it's that crazy expensive for a dinner meal, but yeah, usually at the most we spend like $10 at a nice restaurant. So $20 a plate is crazy expensive. So we usually only go out for special occasions to this place. So we thought it would be fun to use my dad's gift card to go here for dinner, and then we went and saw the movie Passengers, like I just said. I know there have been mixed reviews. I absolutely loved the movie, and Mark kind of makes fun of me for loving it so much. I think it's mainly because of the actors, because it's got two of my favorite actors in it. And I am a sucker for love stories, and it's a love story. I think they tried to bill it as a action movie, and that's why it got such bad reviews. But I think they probably wanted people to go and see it. So they advertised wrong for it, because it's definitely not an action movie at all. So if you haven't gone to see it, I would recommend it, but it's not an action movie. It is a love story. So, yeah, prepare yourself for that. Okay, so I think I'm almost done. No, actually, I think I have like 10 minutes left. I don't know what else I do, honestly. Let's see. I think I might just spend most of the time trying to glue down everything. Sorry about my head there, trying to glue down these little teeny tiny sequins. They are stars from the Too Cool For You sequin mix, and they are so super tiny. So I was using my Tombow Aqua glue to glue them down. So here you can see I pulled out some of my gold confetti sequins, and I'm just using my Zots to glue those down in a couple different random places. I am also going to pull out some, let's see, a title. That's what I'm missing so far. So I'm going to pull out some thickers and things to do a title with. And I have to kind of get creative, and I'll kind of talk about that a little bit more in a few minutes when I pull out my title. So let's see, what am I going to do now? So I think I pull out... here I pull out my rotary date stamp, and this one's from A Beautiful Mess, I think. And I just stamp January 3rd, 2017. And then I'm also going to pull out a Studio Calico one, I think. Let's see. Yeah, that one's from Studio Calico, and it has a phrase as well as the date on it. But I just wanted the phrase, and so I'm going to stamp one for the books, and a little bit does get, like a little extra ink gets onto a part that I didn't want it to get onto. So I'm going to cover up the inked part, the extra ink, with this cute little felt heart from the Heart Felties set that you can get in the store. And then I'm going to put a couple of those gold sequins down. I'm going to bring in another one of those hearts up there at the top cluster, just to make sure that I bring in, it's not just a random heart. So there's one in each cluster. Okay, so now I am, let's see, what am I doing? I'm going to put away my sequins and things. And now I'm just kind of ruffling up the paper. In the video of the lady that I was inspired by, she uses one of those Tim Holtz little paper thingies. I don't even know what you call it. The paper ruffler, maybe? I really have no idea what you call it, but she uses one of those. I don't have one, so I just decided to use my fingers and just to ruffle the paper. So here I am going to decide to do a little bit of a different title. I had these Amy Tangerine thickers in my stash, and I've had them forever. And I just have no idea how else I would have used them to be continued. So I thought I could add it to the layout because we're celebrating our anniversary. I thought it was kind of a different title because normally I'm very straightforward to the point. I was just going to use some tile letters that would say happy anniversary is what I was thinking. So when I found these, I thought that that would be a really creative and different title for me. Because obviously we were celebrating our anniversary. Of course, we want our marriage to be continued, right? So I was just trying to be creative. At first, I'm thinking I'm going to put the title here in the bottom right-hand corner on the photo, and then as well on the background. But I don't really like how much the to be blends into the photo. So I'm going to end up moving it down to the left. And I'm going to kind of play around with it. And at this point, I'm thinking the title's just going to be to be continued. And that's going to be it. So here I have it just kind of a trail down from the left of the bottom photo to the bottom right of the layout. And now I'm looking at it and just thinking, okay, something's still missing. I need something else. So here I'm going to pull out my stickers. These are from Tim Holtz. And I'm looking for the word, or an H. I'm looking for H because I'm like, okay, to be continued, does that really give the impression that we want our marriage to be continued, or, you know, that this is our anniversary and we're celebrating our anniversary and we want to stay married forever, you know, kind of thing. So I pull out a couple different tile stickers and just different phrase stickers and things, and I'm looking for the word happy. I found the word happy, but I'm still looking to see if maybe by chance I have the word anniversary, so I could kind of put that in one of the clusters. I did find one that said always and forever. I'm going to find one that says love, and then sweetest, and then life. And so I'm just kind of pulling these off as I find them. And my idea is that I'm going to make the word happy anniversary out of all of these. But I decide almost immediately after finding all of these cute little words that I don't like that idea at all. So I'm just going to start placing them around the layout in each one of these clusters. And then I'm going to set them aside. I think, let's see, I only use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think I have 7 there that I had pulled off the sticker sheets, but that's okay. I can still use those on later layouts. So here I get the idea that I could have the title actually be Love to Be Continued. The only problem with this is that this word love is silver, and it doesn't really match very well with the to be continued. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my black licorice stick dazzlers from Shimmers, and I am just going to use it like paint. It doesn't work awesomely. I probably should have added a little bit of water to it to make it more like paint, but I just decided, you know, I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm just going to do it as it is. So I'm just using this the black dazzlers, and I'm just painting over the word love. I probably should have just used a paintbrush. That probably would have been a lot easier, but for some reason I was stuck on using this little palette knife. So you can see me just painting it on there and just trying to clean it up a little bit because it was kind of sticking to the insides and the outsides and everything. So here I'm going to clean off my little palette knife, and I'm going to set this aside to dry overnight. I don't think I place it on the layout in the video, so you'll see that in the photos, and I think I'm actually almost done here. So I hope that you enjoyed this layout. Make sure you come on over to the blog to see more photos and a little bit more explanation of the layout, and to get the link to all of the products that I used. I had so much fun scrap lifting this cute layout, and I can't wait to do some more fun stuff with the new Shimmers products. Hopefully I'll be back next week with new products. Thanks for watching. Bye.